friends, my name is Kim. Welcome to Healing Place Cottage. Welcome back to my kitchen. I'm so happy to have you with me today. So today we're going to make a recipe from Weight Watchers' new complete cookbook, and we made a great recipe from this previously, the chicken with broccoli rabe and polenta. And so this recipe can be found on page 308, and we're going to do a slow cooker recipe. So today we're going to make pork roast with sauerkraut and apples. And so the first thing it tells us to do is to put some oil in our skillet, and we are going to brown our pork loin. The recommendation is for, let me get a, I don't have a pair of tongs over here. Let me go ahead and put this in that way. It's for 1.5 pounds of pork loin, and it says to salt and pepper, and to add 1/2 teaspoon of dried thyme. That's about 1/2 teaspoon. And while that's browning, we're going to go ahead and get started by putting I put a liner in my slow cooker. This makes cleanup a breeze. So we'll go ahead and get that started, and we want to cut up 1 red onion. I love to use my slow cooker. We're going to actually cook our recipe on high for 4 to 5 hours, but you could also cook it on low for 8 to 10 hours. We'll put that in our slow cooker, a little on the floor for extra good measure. Remember when I told you I'm a fast cook? Well, I'm a sloppy cook. That tends to come with being a fast cook. So I probably spend more time cleaning up after myself because I go so fast. So our next task is to core and peel and chop an apple. It called for a Macintosh apple, I believe, or an ambrosia apple, and I believe they substituted mine for a Fuji apple. So along with our onions and our apple, it says to add 2 teaspoons of caraway seeds. My mom loved a Swiss cheese that had caraway seeds in it. So there's that. So we've sprinkled thyme, pepper, and salt on our pork. Heat oil in large skillet. Add pork and cook for 6 minutes when it's brown on all sides. Combine sauerkraut, onion, apple, and caraway seeds. So now we need to get our sauerkraut. And it calls for 2 pounds of sauerkraut. Let's give that a good mix in here. We'll add our pork loin, and then it says to pour wine over it. So it calls for a half a cup of dry white wine. We've talked about I get the Chardonnay in these little 4-pack bottles, and that way I don't have to open a big bottle of wine. I can put the lid back on and reuse that. So we're going to put this in our slow cooker, and we're going to let this cook for 4 to 5 hours, and then we're going to come back and give it a taste later on this evening. Hi friends, we are back, and it has been about 4 hours, and I can smell this. I put a thermometer in, and it's definitely done. You want your pork to reach an internal temperature of 145, and this is at 160, so it's definitely done. I'm going to cut a piece of meat, and then I'm going to top it with some apples, some sauerkraut, some onions, and we will give this a taste. Very hot. It has a good flavor. I'm not sure what the unique flavor is. For me, I don't normally do my pork and kraut with thyme or with caraway seeds. I kind of feel like it's the caraway seeds that are the unique flavor that I'm tasting. It's good. The apple sweetens it up a little bit. I typically put brown sugar in my sauerkraut and to mellow it out. And this is not too bitey. I think both the wine and the apples kind of mellowed that out. I would want this with some mashed potatoes. I just don't think that I would feel like I had the perfect meal without mashed potatoes. So you could definitely do that. To give you the information about this recipe, so 1 slice, and this was not a slice, so 1 slice of the pork and 3/4 cup of the sauerkraut mixture has 224 calories, 9 total grams of fat, 11 grams of carbohydrate, but 5 grams of fiber, so that brings your net carbs down to 6, and 23 grams of protein. So you absolutely could eat this with some mashed potatoes. I think you're under 30 grams of carbs for mashed potatoes, somewhere around the 26 carb range for a serving of mashed potatoes. And with your net carbs only being at 6, you're still well under the 45 grams that we try to stay in under to be a diabetic friendly recipe. So this will be what I try for the new year this year, rather than my normal way of making sauerkraut with pork for the new year. I will try this one again on January 1st. I don't think that there's anything that I will do differently. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, Healing Place Cottage. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, as well as YouTube. And I look forward to cooking with you again soon. Take care, everyone.